Baby, welcome to the party. I'm off the players in the league. That's why I'm returning. Baby, welcome to the party. I hit the boy up and then I go skating down. Baby, welcome to the party. Get some of that. Give me that. Got on mine. One and a half. Turn it good. Baby, I'm sleeping. Slow your tone. Cause you can get it. Come with that in my system. I get your body. Next day I forget it. Niggas are just gonna buy it. And this one can't. Killing niggas on my killing niggas. See every nigga I've been drilling niggas. My charge like nobody ever give me shit with this big chip. I had to get paid. This time getting on stage. And you know she's killing me. Baby, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. So we're just gonna go right into it. This is going to be a channel reading for Pop Smoke, and I'm not sure if you heard the news, but Pop Smoke died at the age of 20 years old, and he actually was gunned down at his home in California. So we're gonna get down into this channel reading, and we're gonna try to channel Pop and try to really figure out what was happening to him around that time. We already know that basically the back door was left open, and you know, people had came in who weren't supposed to be there, while other people were left inside of the house. And I don't know whether or not, you know what I'm saying, that is something that is a safe thing, because I mean, I usually lock my door. Look, see, he wasn't fucking with someone. He was not fucking with someone. He was, oh my gosh. This, okay, so we already know that basically a girl had got him caught up and got him killed. I mean, either he had gave his information out. He had gave his information out to this girl. Let me get my wand. Pop was probably, you know, texting this girl, and, you know, he had this party, he had these people over. And I mean, look, baby, I can give you my world. We already know that he was single, and we haven't even gotten into the reading yet. And we have all this sword energy. So there was a lot of action going on, a lot of movement, a lot of action. Obviously, there was a lot of fucking payback is a motherfucker to this shit. I'm hearing payback. So let's try to understand the situation even more, because, obviously he had people within his, I'm hearing people within his entourage would really just go back and, you know, really talk bullshit about him. Like some of the people that he was playing basketball with, they weren't, you know, they weren't the friends that he needed to stick around with. He had certain people around him that he still messed with, you know, as he was transitioning into, look, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, he had situations that he still had to tie up at the end of the day, and that he was not tying up. We haven't even gotten into these cards. I haven't even gotten into the main reading yet, but I just want to say thank you for watching this video. Love and light. This is a channel reading from Flower Being Tarot, ASMR energy reader, and I'm getting the highest messages from my angels. Ashe, Ashe. And like I said, what he's telling me is basically this was a tricky situation. Somebody that he literally had bought some track. He got this girl's hair done for this party, He even bought her some jewelry, took her out to get her nails, took her out to get a dress. Like, let's get some clarification. He had her looking, oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. This was such a dangerous situation. He was so tied. He was so tied. He was tied to this girl. Or it maybe it was a love of woman. Maybe he started getting into, I'm seeing some clarifications. So why is this Empress here? Why is this Empress here with the Ten of Swords? For Pop Smoke, what was Pop Smoke thinking with this Empress and Ten of Swords? Yeah, so basically there was a bitch who obviously was too obsessed with him. This girl was obsessed. Panties, clothes, like she was throwing out. I'm hearing like baseball tickets, like NBA tickets, like she was really trying to get at him and she thought that she could trick him. Or maybe it was okay, let's get some clarification on this two of deuces. Two of deuces is like maybe she was ooh. Okay, so this was a secret relationship. Oh, this was a secret relationship within the past. Because we have the three of deuces and we have the page of swords. So this was a secret relationship in the past. He was fucking with this girl in the past. This was a secret relationship that he kept. She really wasn't like she was classy, but she really couldn't give him everything that he wanted in a girl because I mean she just didn't have that type of sophistication. So it was to the point where she was just trying to please this, she was trying to please Pop as much as she could. And I think the crazy thing is the fact that I'm seeing that this betrayal is, the most fucked up thing because basically they came in, they probably bagged his head, and next thing you know, they probably put him and wrapped him around a chair and they beat him before they really immediately killed him. They beat him. Like they played with him. And this was a really, really, really big, really big burden that somebody was holding. Like literally somebody was infatuated to like if I can't have you, no one can have you. So obviously there was a girl tied in between this situation. And this situation turned out wrong. This is like a booty call ended wrong. He literally was he ended the situation with somebody that he knew that he wasn't supposed to fuck with after he got introduced, he got introduced to some options. He went with old, the soulmate, and then, he was like trying to, you know, upgrade this other new girl. And basically, this was like a dangerous love because this was a love where he became foolish. So maybe he started actually getting familiar with the wrong people I'm hearing. So let's clarify the Three of Swords with the Queen of Bats. So exactly, exactly. So we have the 666, and we have the Queen of Cash, the Queen of Coin, with my Damien to get a function. Hey, who's there? Basically, he was messing with the wrong crowd. This was, to me, it looked like it was honestly a handler. Like, these people had sent this girl in specifically to get him caught up. She sent him into his life and she came to this party. She scoped the area, and while she was scoping the area, like she had her opportunity, came in to get a function. give me the call. Let me know what's next so we can, bust it right in. She goes, unlocks the door, probably is upstairs with him making out, and the next thing you know, bam, bam, bam. You know, you you get your heart too intertwined with the bitch, you lose out on the fame. And that's the most messed up thing. How people, I just saw the judgment card, but it's so messed up how people can, you know, get fucked over because of other people's sick ass intentions. And I'm hearing that, yes, I'm hearing he didn't know shit about this. He didn't know shit about this bitch. This bitch saw opportunity on him the moment she laid eyes on him. The moment she laid eyes on him, she saw opportunity to get cash, get money. There is a lot of bitches out here scamming. And I'm sorry to say, but this is that one person that he met that would change his life forever. And again, we don't have the death card out here, but we know that this was definitely a relationship because we have the Page of Cups. So he was interested in wiping her. He was interested in wiping her because she saw that she had something valuable, but this bitch was hiding some dark ass shit. She was involved with the wrong people. I'm hearing she was a handler. It looked like she definitely was hiding some secrets. Um, and he look at this Page of Wands, yo, no, King of Wands. He literally was like boxers, like boxer briefs, out of the bed, running around the house with her, and she was probably wearing her bra, and they were probably like just having fun playing a house together, cooking breakfast, like eating all types of unhealthy ass foods and shit. And she was, yes, she was playing with him. She was playing with him, and he was like, he was feeling it. He was at least happy. I mean, at least you can say he was happy during those end times before he wound up getting shot up. At least this bitch made him happy before she got him caught up. So I'm hearing it really was a bitch that got him caught up. And look, the fool, the fool. We can say that he resembles her as well as she resembles him because she was stupid to try to get him set up because it's gonna fall in her ass because we have the tower. So she's communicating with people that are ultimately gonna break and they're gonna figure out who did the situation unless this is like a spiritual sacrifice, then that's why we have the tower because this could have already been planned. This could have already been planned. So, I mean, he was the fool when he looked at her as an opportunity to wipe up because, let alone, she had all these people behind her that she was telling his business to. She was telling his credit cards and all types of shit to. She was freaking plotting that shit with these people. And look, the most fucked up thing is this is four people. You got Gretchen, you got Aaron, you got Regina, and you got shit. You got I don't even fucking remember her name, but the girl that was pregnant half of the movie. Basically, it was four gunmen that came in his house and killed him. So you got the whole people figuring out this plot because of this girl. And I'm trying to figure out like who is this girl? Like Wheel of Fortune. This was somebody who changed his life. We're back around to the same thing. Somebody who changed his life looked like the Ten of Cups. They were having a lot of, I'm hearing, uh, they were 6 9ing, if you know what that is. They were doing the 69, and she was spending a lot of his cash. She has spent a lot of his cash actually, and um, she was fucking him over real big time because we have the hangman. So again, this was a situation that just didn't end right. Somebody stabbed him by the back, clarifying the Ace of Swords with the valet. Literally, it was this girl. It was this girl. Wow. This idea of let's put on a show to try to make it just, no. You cannot try to contract a relationship. Relationships are not supposed to be contracted. So let's get some clarifications on the lovers. So why is the lovers card here? What's the reason for the lovers card? What's pop? What is he trying to explain? Again, this was a setup. This is all he's saying. This was a setup. She literally I'm hearing they had 7 people in the house, and it only became 7 after the 4 people had entered the house who weren't supposed to belong inside of the house at that time. And they were probably having sex. And next thing you know, they come in and blop, blop, blop. Like, if we get the death card, it's just going to be a confirmation. So, ooh. So we have the Sun and the King of Swords. So he had gotten a bright revelation. This revelation knowing just how fucked up the industry is. I'm hearing him say just how fucked up the industry is. People were manipulating the scene behind the scenes from the assistants. You know, it was a small people. People were talking behind his back, and this is a situation that he just became, in solitude because he just couldn't deal with, people as much. And again, we have the strength card. So this was a situation that he wasn't fucking with. Here we go. We have the death card. It just came out. So there was justice to the situation. Wow. There was justice to the situation because he had everything he could have ever asked for before he had passed away. And he had success. People were jealous because they left him out in the cold, and they wanted to burden him. And these were people who wanted new opportunities for him, but he was opening new doors and opportunities for himself. But because he had wanted this relationship with this girl that got him caught up, he came into problems. And that is why we have the King of Swords. So in the King of Swords with the Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands, basically saying that he didn't know whether or not to fucking go for the cash or go for the bitch first. Go for the cash or go for the bitch first. Oh, so you set me up? I don't know whether or not to kill you or to freaking get my cash and get the hell out of this house before guns is blazing. Because obviously y'all about to kill me. Obviously you was setting me up the entire time. Obviously this was not a fucking relationship to you. You was scoping the place. Like, wow. So Pops is really feeling like a fool for believing in the mirage of Hollywood. I'm really hearing that he's really feeling like a fool because of this mirage that Hollywood tries to sell people. And he's saying that honestly, like, if he had to go back, he wouldn't turn the corner and go into that studio. He'd stay at that basketball court and he'd be dribbling that ball and he'd be playing all those scores and he'd be shooting, even though he had a bad heart. At the same time, he would still be living out his passion because rapping isn't everything he wanted to do. That was just something that got him on the scene. It just got him out there. A lot of times, people just do things because it could make them some money, and it was like that was a source of money for him. It was just something that he was good at, and he knew that he could hustle into, really breaking bank with it. And so he went with that. But he does feel like he wish he had more time to play ball. And if he did have, the resources available to him, because now like transhumanism is coming out, so people are able to, play sports and play competitively while getting like different types of surgery. And I'm not sure if he technically would do that, but he's saying that he would consider that for the sake of playing basketball, for the sake of, keeping his scholarship, for the sake of, going for that goal because he believed in himself in the court. He felt that, that attainment, it was just something about scoring and hooping on, people, his friends, his brother. I mean, it was just that connection when you were just dribbling and then bouncing that ball, and next thing you know, you get a pointer, whether it's like a 3 pointer or even just a dunk. And then just to be out there and you just find yourself, at a grips on a block, and then next thing you know, you make that point. It's like that was the relief spot for him. It was never landing a freaking contract that was signed in blood at the same time that is guaranteed that he's going to get set up by somebody because people are hot on his ass. And I'm seeing 222. So he knew deep down that this wasn't something that he truly wanted to go into. You know what I'm saying? This was just an option. This was a good option too because it exposed him to a lot. He's saying it exposed him to a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm even seeing his dog that he was talking about, and it's like it it was almost as if like trauma, this trauma and this I'm hearing like this trauma and situation from his past had like pushed him into never looking back. And that's why he got so big the way that he got. Like he only got that big because of that trauma that he experienced. He only got that big because of that fire within him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he decided not to look back. He decided to, keep forward, follow the Northern Star, take that love that he had for that one animal at that time period. And, you know, you don't have to get another animal if you don't feel aligned to do it. But if you do, of course you can. But he didn't want to. And there were two choices. And again, he wished that he could embrace a little bit more of his child side because he felt like when his stardom came, he really had to grow up a lot more. So it's honestly like he wanted to sink. He kind of wanted to sink. It could be a chance that he was sinking when he started to peak because it was like it was just so much going on, so much commotion going on. So it was just like, how am I able to focus on both days if I'm never able to find peace in sleep? And I'm hearing 444. So he had trouble sleeping and he prayed to his angels a lot. He was very religious. Um, and I'm hearing like he could have honestly had um some issues with homophobia. And I'm hearing like there was, certain homoerotic situations that had happened in his life that um had been pressured upon him, but it wasn't like it was just like somebody getting pants in the boys' locker, and maybe like he got pants, and that was just an embarrassing moment for him, but nothing too staggering, just like certain things that just project that like uncomfortableness with like the male opposite of masculinity. And maybe he wishes like to that extent that he was more free, and that he was more of this fool of accepting in the right energies, accepting in the right people in his life that actually care about him, rather than the people who don't, rather than the people that were using him, rather than the people that were scheming on him, rather than the people that were setting him up to look like a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, the joke's on you, ha ha ha. You got played, I didn't. And that's the sad thing. The fact that I'm hearing this foundation was like always supposed to be there. Like, this was meant for him. And this situation was an injustice. Him jumping off of that cliff, and the full card is right here. We get to have this card forever. It's painted on here forever. We don't get to see him jump out of that cliff, and actually fall down. And it's like, imagine having a picture here without the fool. It's like his spot is empty, and that's because it was a controlled environment. And you can tell from a controlled environment from a natural environment is different, basically because of how much the environment changes and how much the community is dissipating. And a lot of the rappers, a lot of the entertainment people, like, I mean, I'm not going to throw it out there, but, it's been happening very often. And again, like, he was at this spot because he belonged there, and his chance was taken away from him. So let's get some last clarity on what Pop would like to say, and certain resolutions about this full card. If he could do anything different, what would he do? Maybe there is something that he knows about the crime scene that um we should know, was whether this was a spiritual sacrifice. I just saw the devil card. I don't know whether or not he wanted to tell us whether this was a setup or whether this was a situation on love. Because I'm hearing that this was justice in the eyes of people that this was justice in the eyes of people that wanted, that felt the need to change their own injustice. Yes. Wow. So maybe he was, I mean, I don't want to throw anything out there, but maybe he was a divine feminine. I don't want to throw that out there, but maybe Pop was a divine feminine. No shade at all, at all. That's only love, because divine feminines are like great. And I'm only saying this because we literally have the Empress card. It popped up again. So this is normally how people are looking at you, as the person. And what I'm seeing is that he held himself with, again, this was his place. This was his chosen, his birthright. And basically, like, he got it completely snatched away. I mean, or it could be looked at as he had way too many options. I don't think he was having any children. So this definitely had to be him. Okay? We're not going to change that. We're not going to change that. Okay? He was effing with a nigga. He was friends with somebody that was a guy, and it was a good friendship. Maybe he was talking to this guy and he was friends with him, and next thing you know, this information gets leaked and from this guy onto someone else. The information gets scattered on elsewhere. And while it's scattered on elsewhere, again, it hits social platforms. That could have been how his mailing address got leaked and people winded up going to his address in California. Or could it have been from the housewife whose husband had owned the house that he was renting? Could he have sent people there to get him shot up just because? We don't know these things. And so I'm saying is that he did have at least one person that he could trust. But again, there was a situation that he wasn't smart in, and he couldn't choose between the situation, and this could have been a situation with the devil. I mean, I literally was talking about this card and it popped up. I mean, and the crazy thing is like in the overall card we have the sun, so he has that resolution where he has that outer body experience after he's passed, and he goes into the ethers and he realizes throughout his life, that this was a setup. This was a total setup, and he shouldn't have been as trusting to this. Why am I hearing so much about female handlers? I'm really like, I don't know whether or not this is something that's trending, but if there are a lot of females who are starting to handle people, like, it's really important for people to be worried about the people that they're around, because we have the best of both. I mean, not the best of both worlds, with this turnaround to the two. Like, he had to get to the ethers to have this resolution within himself, because people were plotting about his career. They were plotting about what are we gonna do with the next mixtape? What are we gonna do with the next album? Oh, this, you have this movie, you have this record deal, and you have this tour set. It's like so many people in your face. I mean, when all people do is care about the money, that's all they're gonna think about you as. It's the money. And that is the evil part. He Wow. All right, so I need to get some clarification on this devil card, because that was just really crazy. So why is this devil card here? What is pop? I'm hearing ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, so obviously he was approached by a guy, and he had certain guys that were hitting him on his DM, and he was talking to this girl, and it was just like, I'm not into that, like, fugazi type of stuff. Basically, this girl was approaching him with, some really fuck me eyes. And again, like, she was already plotting, and he had this situation in the past that he was dealing with. And this situation still was wrapping up. So it wasn't like he was really smart to go into this second situation, because this, whew, what? Having the strength to take the bag. Having the strength to take the bag. Is that what she was doing? Is that what she was doing? Whoever took that bag, whoever took that money from him, whoever straight off. I mean, they're not, the crazy thing is they're saying that they didn't even take any money. They're saying that they left the place with him just killed. And look, I have the news reporter here. So, live on news, Pop Smoke dead. The killers, four gunmen, comes in the back of Pop Smoke's rental and shoots Pop Smoke, leaving everything behind. Like, what? Like, are you really serious? Well, they didn't take any money. Like, how stupid can you be? Like, that's Jason talking to Taylor Waddell. He's supposed to be with me. What the fuck type of bullshit is this? Is this a petty? This is pettiness. This this is pettiness. Somebody did some petty shit behind the scenes. Exactly. Somebody did some petty shit behind the scenes. We have the fucking Ace of Swords, okay? Damien two gated function, Ace of Swords, with the what is this? The fucking fat chocolate bar. So we already know somebody was plotting to give him some shit that he would never wake up from again. Okay? And ooh, it was this girl. She was playing the best friend, like the best friend, the best lover, the best um, you know, I'm hearing what is it? The best you ever had, the best you ever had, the best you ever, best you ever had. Like that's all somebody wanted to be the best he ever had. So I mean, obviously this was somebody who was obsessed with him, and I think this is all love and light. You know, I really hope he gets his justice because it's so sad to see him. You know, he was so young, only 20 years old, to have passed. And I appreciate this reading. You guys enjoyed it. You can like the video if you do. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to, but you don't got to. And thank you. Have a good one.